Here it is. The episode no one wanted to hear, but everyone knows is true. Day by day, you move through life facing challenges that come and go, growing and learning from them. But as of the past decade, it seems people aren't moving through life alone anymore. They have acquired a new companion that not only has reshaped society for better or for worse, but will also change the way humans interact with each other for decades to come. Their phone. Now, before we get too deep on this unironically sinister topic, this growing issue of your phone is only as sinister as you, the user, allows it to be. There are plenty of people out there who can use their phone in a mature manner, not allowing it to take hold of them. But just as this is true, there are people who have not only completely succumbed to their phone's will, but have reshaped their entire life around their device. As ridiculous as all of this sounds, and even the fact I have to address this, as many individuals have no idea how much influence their phone has over them and pour hours of their day into mindless stimulation, is outrageous. You might be thinking, gee, this guy sure is making a lot of claims right now, and you're correct. Now it's time to defend my position and hopefully change the way you view your phone moving forward. To really solve this problem, we're going to have to take it all the way back to where it all began. There it was. For some, under a Christmas tree. For some, in a tightly wrapped box on their birthday. For others, at the store after they finally saved up enough money. As you excitedly lifted the lid off the box, you got your first glance of this beautiful creation smiling right back at you. You and your new smartphone kicked off your relationship as strong as one could. Downloading apps, getting numbers, taking photos, starting Snapchat streaks, you were invincible. You and your phone went everywhere. School, your friend's house, work, you name it. It was the first thing you grabbed when you woke up and the last thing you put down before you fell asleep, keeping it close as you wouldn't want it to be too far away. This went on for a couple days, weeks, months, until something changed. Something felt off about you and your once best friend's relationship. This didn't make any sense to you at first because how could something be wrong? You love your phone and you use it all the time. Notification after notification, text after text, Snapchat after Snapchat, enjoyment turned to habit. Habit turned to craving, and craving turned to dependence. Before long, you were so invested in your smartphone that it felt like rather than just a simple device, it was an extension of yourself. Snapchat turned from having silly conversations with your friends to an instrument that emulated a flourishing social life. Instagram turned from posting cute pictures to creating a persona that fulfilled the desire to feel accepted and important. The more you invested into these apps, the more you had to lose should you decide just to stop using them. This positive feedback loop only got worse as you simply just didn't know any better. Missed conversations, relationships that never grew, opportunities missed, all because your attention was focused on scrolling feeds and liking pictures. Now, before I go any further, yes, the degree to which all of these side effects your phone can bring upon you come in different thresholds, and some people are more tolerant to them than others. But as I bring you back from strolling down memory lane with your phone, I'm willing to wager you can relate to one of the many problems overusing your phone can come with. If you still feel like you are a responsible smartphone user and none of these problems affect you, let me expand my list to the items included but are not limited to: addiction to games/apps, trouble sleeping due to frequent checking, anxiety if the phone is not accessible, urges to respond to notifications immediately, relationship problems due to a lack of real social stimulus, hookup apps that significantly erode one's mental image of intimacy, pornography consumption that completely eradicates the male ego and desensitizes one's masculinity, and my top 3 favorite, safety blanket syndrome, problems with short-term attention span, and lastly, mindless entertainment providing little to no value to your life. Whew, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. As much as I would like to dive into all of those topics, we're going to keep it to just 3. 1. Safety blanket syndrome. Oftentimes in social settings such as parties, get-togethers, hangouts, dates, family events, there comes a time when you might feel awkward or misplaced due to not knowing anybody or simply being shy. Anyone who relates to this situation also knows that should this happen to you, the safety blanket is the first thing you resort to, aka your phone. Uncomfortably staring mindlessly at your screen allows you to act like you're being productive, all while avoiding any and all social interaction with other people. As great as hiding behind your smartphone at events like this might sound to some people, it ruins the point of the event in the first place. Opportunities to push aside that fear and talk to that girl or talk to that guy are completely negated by the safety blanket, further making social get-togethers anything but social. 2. Problems with short-term attention span. In a study done at Florida State University about notifications, they found that even though notifications may be short, they can prompt task-irrelevant thoughts or mind-wandering. Though using your phone frequently does alter your attention from task to task rather quickly, notifications are the ones responsible for the crime. The design is rather simple. You hear your phone ring or buzz, and immediately dopamine is shot into your head. Questions race across your mind. Is someone texting me? Did someone comment on my picture? Am I missing something that's happening? This cause-effect scheme, reoccurring over and over and over again, subconsciously trains you to check your phone immediately when the phone vibrates. After some time, you become so tolerant to this that it can be extremely hard to focus on anything, considering a world of other possibilities can interrupt you at a moment's notice, all while in the palm of your hands. 3. Mindlessly wasting time. Have you ever wondered why most, if not all, social media is completely free? No cost to download, no features you have to pay extra for, you get the entirety of the app without spending a dime. It's because the apps could care less about your money. They're buying your attention. Ads crept in while scrolling Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube is how these social media companies rake in an insanely lucrative amount of cash every year, due to this being how they generate revenue off of you. The first thing they allocate their net income to annually is figuring out how to make apps and phones more seductive. The end result is extremely easy to access entertainment that you can quickly view on a moment's notice, provided free by these apps. Flashy titles, funny pictures, and just about anything else alluring to the human eye keeps you hooked scrolling, making wasting hours of your time on stimulus content effortless. To wrap this lecture up and send you on your way a more knowledgeable person, if you have come to realize you may be a victim of these problems, I would like to provide you with some good news. All of these problems, yes, every single one of them I just mentioned, are actually really easy to fix. The thing about these problems rising with smartphones isn't that they are terribly difficult to overcome. It's simply people just aren't addressing them as problems in the first place. As society becomes more and more connected, it just seems like the norm since people you know probably act in a similar way. Unfortunately, this is not the case, and overusage of smartphones not only linked back to these problems, but much more insidious ones, such as slowly developing anxiety and or depression. Fortunately, as you probably know me by now, I would never elaborate on all of these grim topics without providing a solution. As I believe there are too many variables in everybody's unique life to bring you a magic formula to break you out of this cycle, I can guide you to the starting line with 2 tips. 1. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. By first eliminating the immediate obedience to check your phone the second it vibrates, we can begin to create a system that revolves around we only check our phones when we want to check our phones. And 2, be significantly more self-aware when you're using your phone as a safety blanket. Whether that be to hide away from an awkward situation or randomly scrolling or clicking mindlessly when you're bored, because you have better things to be doing. And as soon as you can come to that conclusion, your chains will be broken.